get this aimed up right. Just bear with me, and just see if we can get this on or pointed towards me. Just bear with me. Yeah, I've just set my phone up in a different orientation this time, just to see if I can get the landscape view. Excuse me. But yeah, I haven't even had coffee yet, so just bear with me. And I had got a computer to keep up with comments anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, I had to sell it just to have enough just to pay this first installment for my housing, my student housing. So yeah, but you know, it's what it is. And so I'm going to have to buy another computer again sometime soon, because I'll need another one for college. But anyways, I'm here, and hopefully I'll get a few people wanting to come and say hello to me. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And just try to get this thing sort of set up here that it sort of sits stable, because I've sort of had to set it up sort of in a funny way in this tripod just to do landscape. I can't sort of seem to do it opened out, or it just sort of makes a funny aspect ratio, or you know what I mean. So yeah, just bear with me on that. Hopefully I can get this all sorted. Maybe if I do like that, we might sort of get it sort of set up in a way that it's not going to tip out of this thing. But yeah, who do we have here with us at the moment? I'm not sort of able to see, so bear with me. And just sort of waiting who's going to come in and who wants to join the chit chat. And yeah, while things are a bit quiet here, I might even go and make myself a cup of coffee. So bear with me as I do that. I need coffee, and yeah, things are a bit quiet here. Nobody's come in yet, so I don't know, or I can't sort of see if anybody's in here with us at the moment. So bear with me, and I'll go and get myself a coffee. And I wish I could sort of get this set up that I could even play some music or something, but yeah, I'm not able to do that at the moment. Oh, hi there. Great to see you, and thanks for coming in. Oh, Laurie. Great to see you, Laurie. Yeah, I sort of had to squint to try and read here on screen, so you just got to bear with me. But yeah, I've just sort of been busy trying to get this student housing sorted. I've been staying at a friend's house, and yeah, I'll be leaving there pretty soon. Going to student housing, which is at a place called Berwick. Actually, that's where my college campus is. So I could just walk across to study. I'm not having to, you know, try and get there from here. And of course, you know, to get there from here, I could take an Uber and be there in about 20 minutes, something like that, maybe 25 minutes. But it would cost me like about $40 or $50 per trip. Which I've got 3 full days at college per week now. I've just got the timetable. It came yesterday in the email, the timetable. Or if I took the public transport, by a bus and train, it'll take me like an hour and a half each way. So, you know, be losing 2 or 3 hours sitting on buses and trains every day just to go. And I've been using the public transport, probably about between $6 and $10 per day. So I mean, it is a lot cheaper to use it, but it's a huge part of the day just gone sitting on buses and trains and things. So moving to the student housing is really quite an advantage to me, and also my own room, my own space, everything. So it's just better for all of us. So that's basically what I've got planned this year. And I did make a big payment, was a week ago, Monday week ago. I know for you all it's Tuesday evening. For me, it's Wednesday morning here. Current time 10:32, 10:35. Bear with me trying to read this thing upside down. 10:35 a.m. Wednesday morning. That's the current time here. So crazy time difference. But I've got another. Well, student housing doesn't actually start until the 22nd of February. That's move-in day. So I'll be heading down to college. Yes, with other students, and that sort of helps the study process a lot too. Laurie, I think it was you, Laurie, that said that. I didn't sort of quite catch. I just sort of read and didn't catch who the comment came from. So bear with me. Well, see, I was doing this same course. It's 2 years. Last year, and I originally started with doing it off campus with e-study or online, and oh, that's great, listening, thank you. And it's just near impossible to do that online, especially with something I'm not familiar with, if you know what I mean. Or especially when you're older. It's just not easy. It was something that I already knew everything, and I just had to sort of get a degree or a piece of paper or a certificate, diploma, what have you. That would be fine. But when it's something that's completely unfamiliar, because I hadn't sort of done much with computers for many years, well, it's really quite difficult. And then for the last semester of the year, I moved to on campus, and so it would have been like the last sort of 3 months of the year, 2-3 months of the year, and it made it so much better, the study, because you could sort of just in the class, in the actual classroom, seeing the teacher actually do it, and you could ask questions of your instructor, and working with other students as well, and you just sort of share ideas and everything with them there, and trying to do that over a Zoom meeting just don't work, I don't think. That's the way I sort of found it myself. So being actually in class to do it, it's so much easier. But yeah, 3 days in class, I think it's probably about, works out, sort of looking at the timetable, you're about 18 hours in the classroom per week, in the 3 days. So, that's not too bad, but it'll keep me pretty busy, and it might sort of, it'll mess with my live streaming schedule and upload schedule. So, I might be doing my midweek live stream on a different day. I've just got to check. I believe my days, looking at it, Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, or Tuesday Oh no, I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or no, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Actually, my days on in the classroom on campus. But also, staying on campus like that, I have access to the library. So easy just to go to the campus library. And of course, there's computers and everything on the library. So, it's really good for that. There's likely to be other students there, or, the tutors at the library every day at certain times as well. So if I'm having trouble with something, I could also be at the library and just, you know, have a talk with the tutor and see what the tutor sort of can help me with, or, that sort of thing. Just bear with me. I need coffee. I need coffee. So I'll just go and put the kettle on, and then I'll be back. And then, once it boils, I'll go and make my coffee. So bear with me. So now just waiting while the kettle boils. I'll come back and see if I missed anybody's chat. If I have, please just hit it up again if I've missed it. I don't think I can see it. Huh. So yeah, if you've messaged me and I was just out getting the kettle on for my coffee, just message me again, and I'll get back to you. Who do we all have here with us at the moment? And of course, yesterday was just dreadfully hot. It got up to 107 degrees yesterday, and it near killed me. And of course, stayed out of it as much as I could. Please do smash the thumbs up. I always need more of those, so please do smash those. But yeah, I've been living pretty quietly. Oh, hi there. Great to see you. Can't quite see who you are. Soon. Yeah, I'm currently in Melbourne, Australia at the moment. I did see your question, but yeah, big hi. And yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, this year. Oh, Susan. Hi there, Susan. Sana or Suna Esp, I think. Sana Esp. Great. Nice to meet you. Well, today's looking like it's going to be a lot more pleasant, about 75 degrees. 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Yesterday was just ridiculous, 107. And it had been like 95 to 107 sort of the last sort of 5 days. So, nearly killed me. I really, really hate hot temperatures and the hot sun, and, trying to keep out of it so it doesn't destroy my skin. Because, you get out there and 5, 10, 15 minutes out in that sun, without being protected from it, I'll get sunburned. So, it's the sun's pretty intense here, and I've never seen anything like it. Oh yes, Stephanie. Yes. Great to see you. Yeah, I know you've had some really brutally cold temperatures. Oh, thank goodness, because yeah, just absolutely terrible for me. And yeah, I've been living pretty quietly. I did go to the city over the weekend, but I'd paid for all that sort of a month before. Yeah, pretty cold everywhere else, yes. Um, so basically, I didn't sort of pay anything over the weekend, so that was good. Um, I'd sort of paid for this city trip like a month or something beforehand, so that was good. But like Monday a week ago, not this last Monday, yesterday for a lot of you, but the week before, I had to make a payment for student housing, the first instalment, and that was $550. So, I'm pretty broke at the moment because making all these big payments for student housing, but for the university course and everything, or the college course. So I'm all pretty broke at the moment. So, but I did get out over the weekend and you know, went to the casino and had a look there. Didn't play any of the machines. Didn't gamble anything. I didn't have the money to do it. 10 degrees this morning. Wow, Susan, I know that's pretty cold for you because where you are generally don't get that cold. So I know that's pretty cold for you because I know you're sort of further in the south. And the kettle's just finished boiling, so just bear with me as I get myself a cup of coffee. I'm needing coffee. And I bet the last few days when I've been making coffee, I've been making iced coffee because it's too hot to drink it hot. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm coming back. I've got my coffee, and yeah, if I've missed anything, please repeat your comment so that I can catch what you might have said. But yeah, got a cup of coffee now, so definitely needed that. Oh yes, it's finally up to 7 degrees. Yes, thank you. Please smash the thumbs up. I need that. I definitely need that. But yeah, wonderful to see you here too, Laurie, and Susan, Stephanie, and Sani or Sano. Hi there as well. Yeah, it's I should have put my glasses on to read the comments. But yeah, I've got a pretty busy year ahead of me, so But I'm broke at the moment because I've cleaned myself out. Just paying all these bills. Oh yes, awesome, Laurie. Yes, hi to the people I don't know as well. Yep, yep. Same, me saying the same. Hi to everybody. Oh, thank you, Laurie. I'll get there. Yeah, but it's sort of given me a pretty stressful time, if you know what I mean. I've never went before, and I've had to go and hit up the food bank last week. I mean, thankfully there's one available, but I hate having to do that, if you know what I mean. Absolutely hate having to do that. But yeah, $550 I had to pay a week ago, and of course, it was the amount I didn't sort of have, so and I couldn't sort of put that one on Afterpay, so that made things really difficult. And then I had an Afterpay bill I had to pay because I've been using Afterpay just to try and get ahead, and with college fees and all of that, using Afterpay to do all that. But I'm going to get Afterpay completely cleared again next week, which I've sort of got to do because then I'll be sort of really hitting it again when the actual next housing installment for student housing is due, and I can hit that one up onto Afterpay, so that'll be a good thing. Although I've got to pay that off over 4 weeks, of course, but that is what it is. But that's due 28th of February, that next installment for housing. So try to save as much as I can sort of before that as well. Pay off all my Afterpay of about $400. Sort of pay that out next Monday. Get that paid out, and 2nd of February, and then I'm thinking of the next installment for student housing due on, it's around the end of February. I think it might be the 28th. $1,400. Ouch. So, I'll be paying that on that day or a little bit before, and I think I'll have to put nearly all of that onto Afterpay just to do it. Which, of course, it'll mean I'm paying off a lot of Afterpay sort of, for the next, 4 payments after that, but it's what it is, isn't it? All these sacrifices one has to make for, education and that sort of thing. It's sort of how it is. But, that big payment due, it's 28th of February. But actually move into, because I've made the one installment already, so that's good, I've got that done. Actually move into student housing 22 February, on the Sunday 22nd of February, when we move into that. That's when it sort of opens, so I'll be moving in there, and that should be really good for some filming opportunities around there too. Filming from a new location. Um, living in a different suburb, Berwick. I know there's some beautiful like creeks and gardens and that sort of thing around there, so it should be good for some, filming some nice things for YouTube. And it's on the main train line, so if I go into the city filming of an evening, I can actually get off at the train station, and where I'll be living, it's only a 5-minute walk from the train station. And because, trains keep going until quite late, like nearly midnight. So if I go to the night market, I can get off to the train and just walk home, not having to call an Uber, because where I am at the moment, if I go late into the city to film like a night market or a festival or something, I get back to the train station, and of course the buses have all stopped, sort of like they stop about 9 to 9:30 p.m. So I'm having to call an Uber, and so 10 or $20 to call an Uber to get home. Could be $10 if I'm lucky, but it could be $20 if they decide they're busy or they're not wanting to have a lot of drivers on or whatever. And so more often than not, would cost me like $20 to get from the train station to where I'm staying with, using Uber. So, but of course, living at student housing, it'll be such an advantage because I can just walk from the station less than 5 minutes to where I'm staying. So, and of course, a 2-minute walking from where I'm staying on campus to where my class is. So, not having to do all this transport. It works out at $280 per week, which, you might think, oh yeah, that sounds like a lot, but there's quite a few savings in all that, because not having to pay electricity, propane, water, that's all in the price of it. Also free Wi-Fi in the in the campus, which is wonderful, and the student housing. So not having to pay for Wi-Fi, not having to hotspot my phone to watch TV of an evening, to watch you all on YouTube of an evening. That'll be wonderful. And there's also at the student housing, actually part of it, there's like there's grills, free to use grills, like if I want to grill up a steak or something out there of a nice evening. Also, there's a heated swimming pool, so, oh wow, I haven't swam for years, and a gym. So, that's really, really cool, and that's all included in the price of it too. So, it is quite an advantage. And of course, being around other students will be really good. And I believe there's a few instructors also staying at the student housing, so that'll be pretty cool as well. Instructors, lecturers, so that'll be really cool. So it should be really, really good for that. But of course, it'll be a really, really action-packed year with this study, and my course finishes, it's right in the last days of July when it should finish. So I'll sort of I'll have to try and get some money saved, but also I'll probably need help for the next step of my life, which will be leaving Australia and getting back toward you all in the States. That's what I really, really, really want. Getting back to my roots. That's what I really, really, really want. So, if I could do that, that would be brilliant. Yeah, the next week or so, I just saw there's an SMS message from Cranbourne Skin Cancer Clinic. My checkup is due, so I've got to do that. A year ago, I went there and they found a squamous cell carcinoma, which they cut out with their checkup. So that was on my nose. I don't believe it's come back. Doesn't seem to have come back, so that's good. But we'll be getting another checkout for that. Oh, Tamara, hi there. Great to see you. Yeah, I did do a video on it last year. A year ago, be January, February 2025. I did do videos on that. I believe I put it in my health playlist. Ozempic and other, healthy living or whatever. I made a playlist with all that sort of stuff in it, and I believe I put it in there. But I was lucky with that too, that when they cut it out and all of that, when they tested it, it was benign. So that was really, really, really lucky, because I was worried it might have been, malignant, but no, it was benign, so that was really lucky. But sort of really, really, really careful of the sun. Not to get sunburned and all of that. Stephanie, thank you. So, being really, really careful. I'm using plus 50 sunscreen, or even plus 100 if I can get it. And of course, going out with my cap on or hat or umbrella as well, if I do have to go out into the sun. And of course, like all the Australians are saying, oh, I tried to get a suntan and all of that. And I'm just saying to them, no, I'm not able to do it, and my skin's not toughened to the sun like yours is either. Not growing up with this harsh sun like they did, so my skin's not conditioned to it. It's not hardened to it, and so I get burnt easy and burnt quickly. So just having to be careful in that. So I've got to organise another skin check with them the next couple of weeks, whenever they can do it. Do that, and hopefully there's nothing bad with that. So everybody, keep me in prayers for that, and keep me in your prayers for all this all these high costs that I'm really worried about. That I've got to pay for this study. Once I've got them paid, I'll be right. Once I've got them paid, I'll be set. But it's just the worry of paying them and all of that, and living pretty short. So it's a bit of a worry on that, with all of that. But once I've got that all done, and once I get this study done, from August onwards, I'm free to travel. And I'm a bit sad that I know March there's a meetup that Gail is running. I believe it's in March. I cannot get there. There's no hope of ever getting to that one, which I'd really love to go if I could. Gail of Gail Southern Living, Broken Hearts Ministry, and Gail's Health Journey. I believe it's her and Taz, her husband, hosting that one. First time doing a meetup. First time that meetup. Hosting by themselves. I mean, I know they did help co-host the Ozark meetup, which I believe it's in the Ozark meetup. I know it's coming up. I believe it's in June or July. If simply Jan was here, or Gail, who know all the details, or Linda of another time, if they could post up all the details, that'd be lovely. Oh, hi there, Gail. Yeah, post up the details for your meetups, Gail. Please do. I'm just saying, I wish I could get to them, but I won't be able to get to them with this study. And I mean, I'm absolutely broke at the moment anyways. So, even if it did fall that they were sort of doing a school holiday or something, I'm just absolutely broke, and I'll be broke sort of all this year with the student housing and the college fees and that I've paid. And I was just saying I had to hit up the food bank for the first time I've ever hit one up. Oh yes, June. Yeah, I thought it was in Missouri. Yeah, you can post details. You can post a playlist about all the meetups. I was just talking about your meetup that you and Taz are hosting. I believe it's in March or something. I was just talking about that too. And so if you've got any details you want to share about that on in chat, please do so. I was just saying I'd love to get to that one too, but there's just no hope. Basically, my course ends, all going well, God willing, end of July. I believe the last day is sort of like the 27th or the 28th. Then there might be a bit of stuff to do after that, graduation or what have you, and then I'm sort of free to travel then August. So I'm sort of going to need a lot of money again August, just so that I can go travel, come over to you all, you know what I mean? I'd love YouTube to go absolutely ballistic viral, then I could do it for sure. Yep. March 27th, 29th, yep. Lone Star Meetup, yep. Beautiful. And where did you say that was? Well, it's sort of gone then off screen. I had to sell my computer, Gail, so I've got no laptop at the moment, so I can't sort of keep up with you all. Fort Richardson, is it Richardson State Park? But yeah, I had to sell my computer just so that I could sort of pay some bills. So I'm without a laptop at the moment. I'm going to have to buy another laptop just to for my study as well. But I just needed it to pay this installment the other week, $550. And I wasn't able to do it with Afterpay on that one. It was sort of like the that first installment was basically the housing acceptance fee and the amenities bill, which the amenities bill part of it, $300. That covers the actual use of the swimming pool, all the gymnasium, the free Wi-Fi, the use of the barbecue grills, all of that at the student housing for the year. That covers that cost. So, but, I just had to pay that. And I've got another installment, $1,400, which is due around the 28th of February. So I'll see if I can sort of pay that a couple of days early if I can, and then that's done. And that's actually a chunk of, the payment actually covers 5 weeks of housing. That's the actual housing cost, 5 weeks. 5 weeks, so $280 per week for the housing. But of course, living there. Oh, thank you, Susan. I really appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. And yeah, get some rest. And hopefully the cold hasn't done too much damage. And you haven't had any ice storms that have brought down power lines or trees or anything. So hopefully. And of course, been praying for you all that have been in the path of this polar vortex. So, I have been praying for you all and remembering you all as well. So, I really hope everybody comes out of it safe and well, and not having a lot of damage that you're having to fix up or anything like that. Everything from frozen pipes and busted pipes, from, frozen pipes to, downed power lines and downed trees and all that with ice storms. Doesn't sound very good, as well as icy conditions to drive in with the danger there. So everybody do stay safe, and everybody's in my prayers for that. Prayers for the storm, yes. Oh, yes, see everyone later. Laurie, yep. Thank you, Laurie. I'll be chit-chatting here for a while yet. Nothing else to really do at the moment. It's not like I can go to the supermarket at the moment either, because, can't afford to go. Anyways, never mind. That's sort of how it is. I do have a donation link. Buy me a copy and that if anybody would like to help that. But that's all up to you. And if God sees fit. No, I'm not closing yet. I was just saying goodbye to Susan because she had to leave. She was tired. So, hopefully she can get some rest. And I know a lot of you all have been in this path of these, very, very intense polar vortex storms. So hoping everybody sort of can stay safe and all of that, and just remembering all of you in my prayers. And you've all had unprecedented cold, and it's been unprecedented heat wave here. It's been absolutely terrible. Yesterday was 107, and today I believe is a lot better. It won't get up to anything more than 75. Oh, yes, and a protest. Oh, wow. Yeah, the heat's been absolutely insane here. And, I was just talking about how I've got to try and stay out of this sun here. Minus 26, yeah. And I'd actually prefer the minus 26 than the plus 107. You know what I mean? Or the plus 106. I actually prefer minus 26 over 95. Because I could always just put more clothes on, and even just put a ski mask on if it's really intense. Just stay out of the wind chill as much as possible. I really love snow. Ice storms are so beautiful, but I don't like ice storms because icy roads and destruction of from all the ice build up on your electricity lines and trees and everything basically. Because all those things can only take so much weight before they collapse under the weight. And so of course ice rain, it just really with the weight sort of really quickly. And it's really just the damage you get from that as well, which is terrible. So you all are in my thoughts and prayers with that. But, snow, I can take any amount of snow. But, the ice I don't like much. And I think a lot of the people, a lot of people sort of say the same thing. We could do without the ice. The ice storms. Before we sort of get political, we're not going to be talking about that. You know what I mean? Oh, Hope for Life. Hi there, Jocelyn. Great to see you. Oh, yes, some ice melt. Yep. Yep. So, no, I've just been here, Jocelyn, talking about the costs for this year and sort of what I've got planned and how all those costs have cleaned me out. Yeah, I think that playlist, I've got to have a look at it, Laurie. I did see the text message on that, so when I get a chance, I'll actually go and have a look at that one. Was that the what was it? I know it was a gardening one. I mean, I'm not participating, but I will watch because often I find it quite interesting what everybody's up to. Oh no, freeze into ice. Yeah, you could do without the ice. Yes, the Bible says that's what it was. Oh, hi there, Moon. Great to see you. I haven't got a computer anymore. I had to sell my laptop a week ago because I had to pay for this first installment with student housing and it's left me a bit short. So yeah, I'm going to have to buy another computer now to replace the one I sold. But this bill had to be paid, and what else could I do? You hear of all these no interest loans, but at the risk of dropping an F-bomb, they're useless. I was nearly going to drop an F-bomb there. What I think of them all, and what I think of all these churches, Salvation Army and St. Vincent's and whatever, for they do not help or offer anything to people who are studying. But if you are some crackhead living out on the street, they'll give you everything. So, I'm pretty disgusted with them. If they could have just loaned like $500 or $1,000, that I've got to pay back $100 per week or $50 per week, I would have dealt with that. But no, people studying, nah, at the risk of dropping another F-bomb, off, That's their attitude. So yeah, I won't be sort of giving them any free points or kudos. I'll be telling it how it is and telling it what I really think of them. Oh yes, you're so correct on that too, Jocelyn. Absolutely. Yes, try being a single mom and getting help from these non-profits. Yes, exactly. Same thing, Jocelyn. Somebody trying to, raise their kids. Yep, same story, F-bomb off, and it's absolutely disgusting and absolutely sucks. But, somebody who's a crackhead down on the street or, an illegal, they'll give you whatever you want. And, I see them around here, especially those who have come recently. They've got a huge big house. They've got new cars, and it's all, money being thrown at them by the government and these non-profits. I would see them driving around in a dang big SUV. a brand new SUV, and we're talking about decent SUVs, you know, a really nice Hyundai SUV, or, you know, even like Hondas or Subarus, or, you know, Toyotas, Nissans, Mitsubishi, Mazda. They're not really driving around in the cheap trash that's come from, you know, where. You know, they're a decent enough SUV, and it's brand new, and I'm absolutely disgusted. I don't know, I missed somebody's message there, so somebody drop me a message and I can read it. It'll pop up on screen again. It's sort of unfortunate. The messages don't always last here on screen very long. And I know it's probably something important, so. Or you could also put the message again, repeat the message. But I've been laying low this last week, because this last week, every day, it's finally reasonable out there, but I dare not go out in the sun. Oh, hi there, Jeb. Great to see you. Tamara, we're far away from those areas, plus we stay home as much as we can. They will help an active military, yeah. That isn't enough to live off, yeah, and that really sucks, Jocelyn. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, great to see you, Jeff, and thanks for coming in. We're just sort of having a bit of a chit chat. I did paste a dono link if anybody wants to drop a dono. I mean, I really do appreciate super chats and super stickers, but YouTube takes 40% of those. If anybody's not monetized and doesn't know how that works, that's how that works. And plus, you only get your money for those once you sort of make the threshold. YouTube's threshold to get paid out, for those who don't know, $100 of revenue. Laurie, good to know. Yep. Basically, that's how YouTube works. You know, $100, which could be ad revenue, super chats, super stickers, super thanks, memberships, whatever. And basically, all of that's calculated on the 11th of the month, and then you will not get paid out until between the 21st and the 27th of each month. If you've made $100 plus, that's when you'll get paid out. And also, you do lose tax on your YouTube earnings. So, you know, if your YouTube earnings are $100, you could lose 30 cents, or, you know, 30% of that, or up to 30% of that, with the tax every, you know, whatever your YouTube payment is. So those who are not monetized and would like, or are interested to know how that works, yeah, that's how that works. So, you know. Get rid of this cup too, that it don't sort of get tipped over here. So just give me a minute and I'll be back. I'll be sitting here for a while chit-chatting. And then later on today, I'll have to get editing some video clips that I've got to put together into a video from my last trip into the city. So I'll have to get busy on that a bit later as well. Hope I didn't miss anything, anyone's comments. They don't always show up here. I do have some new merch too. Yeah, that's true, Jeff. For me, I'm lucky I'm getting my threshold every other month. So, you know, I'm really lucky with that. But, you know, what is it, 44,000 subscribers or something? You know, once when I was below sort of 20, it was sort of like 4 months or 5 months. You know, pretty slow. So, you know, having more followers sort of helps with that. Yeah, true, Jeff. And I'm hoping to get to more events this year too, if I can. I know there's a couple of Asian festivals or Latin festivals coming up, which I really want to film. I'm going to try and see if I've got enough cash to, or have enough cash put aside. I believe it's about the first or second week in February. So I may not be able to do it. The Chinese New Year. Oh, thank you, Gail. I really appreciate you listening. Because I'd love to get into the city to film Chinese New Year, because they always have the parade and the dragon dance and everything. I'd love to be able to do that, but yeah, that's only a week or a couple of weeks away now, so I may not have the money to do it, unfortunately, but I'd love to get there to film that, because you know, filming those events and those videos really give my channel a real push along. And you know, they're the types of videos, when I do them, I really get some nice views and even get some nice subscriber numbers and that coming in. So wanting to do that. I'm not sure, Jeff. I'd have to have a look. Last year or this year that we're currently in was the horse, I believe. So I'm not sure what the next one is. I don't sort of have I don't have a computer to actually Google it, and I can't sort of Google on here while I'm live, so I can't tell you. Maybe somebody could tell me what it is. Be interesting to see what it is. But I missed going there last year. Year of the Horse, yep. Awesome. But I missed like the year before when I did it. I really got some nice views, and that was the one that really started my channel growing too. That video. So I want to get to that one again, and film that, because that really gave my channel a boost. It put my channel up from about 2,000 to about 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers. It really made a difference. So I'm wanting to get there again and film that. And of course, you know, having some new equipment since that. Started out more like a donkey, yeah. Yeah, Year of the Jackass. Oh dear. I think we could do without that, couldn't we? Year of the Jackass. I shouldn't say that on YouTube, should I? Everybody be having a giggle at that. But, you know, I think that might have been I think that might have been 2019 and 2020, year of the jackass. Yeah. But meanwhile in Australia, every year lately's been the year of the jackass. If you know what I mean, if you actually get news from this country, you'd be absolutely shocked and disgusted with what's happening here. I mean, this place is just in collapse, really. I know somebody said, oh, well, it's actually managed decline. And the theory of that is just to collapse a country or collapse a company or a place, and then the speculators come in and sell off all the assets and make an absolute killing. We only see what they want us to see. Yes, yeah, you've got to get your news from more independent networks and independent news reporters, because everybody else has an agenda, if you know what I mean. So they only let you see what they want you to see, or, just to spin a certain story or what have you. Yeah, so true. So yeah, how's everybody been bearing with the polar vortex? I'm just interested to hear how everybody's been bearing with that. Well, that's true, Jeff, yes, but if you get a range of independents that you're looking at, you might sort of get the whole story. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean there. And then try and put it together and work out what the actual truth is. Which could be somewhere in between what everybody's saying, You know what I mean. Work out what the truth is, which will probably be somewhere in between each of the stories. And, it's sort of sad the way it's sort of become. They're all bloody liars. Well, yeah, I wish I'd do that too. Just show the story, tell the story. Don't put any spin on it. Don't put any opinion. Don't take sides. Just show what's happened and let everybody make their own friggin' mind up. You know what I mean? That's the way it should be. Report the story, report the news. Don't report fake stories. Just whatever actually happened, just show that. And don't take sides and don't put any opinion, spin, or anything on it. Just show what happened and let everyone make up their own mind on what to think about it or what their views on it are. Terry, hi there. Great to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. I do have some new merch up too. I don't know if it's coming up here. I did sort of, link up some merch, but whether you can see it or not, I don't know. Maybe one of my mods could share out some links for that, or all of that. Maybe, I don't know, AI, but AI basically works, you only get out of AI what you put into it, if you know what I mean. If you want something really well done on AI, you're going to have to put in a lot of information into it. It's only as good as what's gone into it, basically. And, everything that AI does, it's actually been trained to do. So I know there was a whole lot of us creators who were approached if we would allow AI to learn from our content. I don't know if anybody else here knows that or not, or if anybody else here was approached for that. But they approached me and I gave them permission, actually. I wish they would have paid us for that, but they didn't. I know some platforms, apparently they were paying people who gave AI permission to learn from them, but I know this platform here, it certainly didn't work that way. And I don't know if anybody else here in the chat had any approaches for that, but yeah, I was certainly an approach. And they did use material from me for their actual learning. Um, Interesting. But they might have been only approaching channels or channels over a certain size. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way it worked. Anybody here, did you have any approaches from YT about AI and AI learning models? I'd be interested to know if anybody else had that. But basically, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, AI are this magic thing, but AI is only really as good as what it is now with what's gone into it. Oh, yes, so true, Stephanie. I'd rather wrap up to stay warm. Yeah, me too. You know, you can only take off a certain amount of clothes. And, you know, once you're down to that bare minimum, you can't take off any more. And, of course, not everywhere is sort of accessible where you could actually go and sit in a cool pool or something either. So, you know, I know some say, oh, well, jump in a swimming pool somewhere. And of course, you know, the way the sun is here, you certainly wouldn't want to jump into the sea or what have you. Yes, it's still beta. Yes. Yes, so true, Jeff. So it seems like they might have approached you as well, did they, Jeff, with that? I'm just interested who else might have been approached on that. But, you know, I certainly wouldn't be going out to the sea here to swim. Not the way that sun is. You know, I didn't go out with you know, over this last weekend and this hot weather. I didn't, when I had to go out, I didn't go out without an umbrella. 84 currently inside, but -2 outside. I love this firebox. That sounds like your firebox works really very, very well, Jeff. Yeah. It sounds like it really, really works well. But today's a lot more reasonable weather. It's about, they're talking about the top of being about 74 or 75. I don't know if I can see what the temperature is at the moment, if it's coming up on my watch. 71 at the moment. Don't know if you can see that. Sports watch just, you know, connected up or networked with my phone. Oh yes, the wood splitter. Yeah, you must have a fairly decent wood splitter too, to keep things split up, yeah. And I have seen a few videos of people with some of these really, really interesting wood splitters, and some of them, especially some of the bigger homesteading channels have like it's almost an automatic wood splitter. You just sort of have the wood sort of feeding in one end and it's coming out the other split. And I thought, oh wow, I'd hate to think what that thing cost. It would have been a pretty penny, I'm sure. But it sort of feeds in with like a conveyor belt thingy and spits out the other end split. And I thought, oh wow. Are there sort of people that are also making enough for themselves and also selling firewood as well? So I'm sure they've paid it off quite nicely with what firewood sort of sells for. But things are pretty crazy here at the moment with there's been a lot of forest fires and wildfires again over the weekend during the heat wave. So things have been pretty crazy with that, and so a lot of people are pretty worried about that. None here at the moment, thank goodness. Oh, that's great, Jeff. Almost 50 years old and it does a great job. Awesome. Corner Clubhouse Cobalt. Hi there, great to see you. It finds it. Oh, you're saying you mean your wood splitter is yourself, Jeff? I'm thinking, yeah. I don't think we can talk about it. What was that, Jeff? We can't talk about. As long as we don't sort of talk about controversial stuff, I think we'll be fine. Certain things on the news I'm not going to talk about too much. You know what I mean? We might sort of fall afoul of the algorithms or what have you. I think we're fine. I think we're fine talking about how AI is going, though, as long as you don't sort of get critical or what have you. Oh yes, for that one. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that was a different one to what I was on too, Jeff. Yeah. Yeah, that was a different one, Jeff. Yep. Yep. I know exactly what you mean now. Yep. But yeah, that's sort of what the one I was talking about, that's actually done and dusted, yeah. So yeah, that's true. That's so true, Jeff. So true. But yeah, the one I was on, yeah, that's finished, done and dusted at this stage. Yep, exactly. Yep. There's another thing that I've gone on to, and that'll be interesting. This is for monetized channels. You may have missed the announcement, I don't know, but there's actually there's a checklist, and you can actually, I think that's for everyone who's monetized too. It's not just over a certain size. Educational content. And if you sign, or if you check that one, that you're going to allow that one, that could be quite useful, because it sort of will work sort of like what premium does. Oh, yes, the shorts one. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't the one I was working with. No. Yeah, different one. So yeah, that's interesting. You might have been on that because you do a lot more shorts than what I generally do. But yeah, what was I saying? But no, it was really, really interesting how that one worked. Oh no, they were actually using my content to learn from. I didn't sort of do the shorts one, no. I mean, I could have, but yeah, I didn't. No, they were using me to actually learn from. And I believe that might have been for not just YouTube itself, but for like Gemini Veo and that sort of thing. So yeah, different one there, Jeff. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about the educational. That's right. In your monetization settings, there should be one, and there's a checklist for allow for educational content, and basically like if your videos are used in a classroom or something, you will actually get revenue for that, and it sort of works a bit like the premium. Instead of it's just showing like a premium payment, there'll be like an educational payment as well. Because of course things being played in a classroom or run in a classroom, of course, if they're an educational institute, they're not necessarily getting ads and ad revenue. Well, yeah, it's all Google, yeah. 8K, is 8K premium only? I don't know. I need to get a good editing app that's not expensive for 8K, and I'll put together a whole 8K movie. I mean, I can film in 8K. Oh yes, Jocelyn, dinner soon. Country fried hamburger steak with. Oh, that sounds yummy. Wishing I had some corn on the cob. Yeah, yeah, corn on the cob would go well with that, Jocelyn. Yeah. I'm thinking what I'm going to cook for lunch. I mean, I got some stuff from the food bank, especially frozen meals and stuff. So, thinking what I'll get out for that. I was going to film that, and I sort of got busy, so I didn't get around to filming a food bank haul. So, I'll get another one about the 19th of February, and then I'll do that one. Not premium, you feel a bit okay, and they need that even if you down render the original is okay. Do you mean like something, Jeff? Something if you're filming in 4K, do they up render it to 8K? Is that what you mean? Because yeah, to use my normal editing app, that's actually down, that's processed
down to 4K before I can edit it on my editing app.
down to 4K before I can edit it on my editing app. Before I can edit it on my editing app. or down rendered, you know. But of course, my editing app, the highest resolution that I can upload it in is 4K. So the 8K clips that I've put on the Pew have been actually unedited because I haven't got anything that I can edit in 8K. And I don't have a computer now at the moment. I sold my laptop, so I'm not able to do like editing in proxies and then actually uploading in 8K, if you know what I mean. Because I know some of these editing programs, they actually you don't actually edit the 8K clip, you actually edit the proxy and then they just sort of do the 8K clip when you're, uploading it or up-rendering it or whatever. I know that's how that sort of works. Talking gibberish, yep. Yeah, probably talking gibberish to most people when we're talking about up rendering and down rendering and 8K and that sort of thing. Maybe Paulie would understand exactly what we're talking about there, Jocelyn. Wouldn't be surprised if he'd understand it since he's really quite smart in developing games and that sort of thing. He'd probably understand what we're talking about. Oh, how long have I been here? An hour and 20. Wow. Ah, yes, exactly, Jocelyn, exactly, yeah. So true, yeah. I mean, I only understand some of the stuff you talk about with that because you've got me up to speed on that sort of stuff. Otherwise, it'd be all over my head. And, a lot of the genealogy stuff you talk about does go over my head because, I never had a family, so genealogy really wasn't my thing. I mean, I didn't want to learn about their F-bomb family, you know what I mean? Wasn't my blood. I didn't want to learn about it. It's nothing to me. I think you all can understand what I mean with that. I'm thinking, yeah, what will I hit up for lunch? Time here at the moment coming up to midday, so even if I keep chit-chatting, I'm going to have to hit something up for lunch. Yeah, Jocelyn said for sure. I hear and understand you. Yep. So I'm thinking, yeah, what am I going to hit up for lunch? I hadn't eaten much these last few days either because it's so bloody hot, and you just don't eat when it's hot. Get a salad or a wrap. Yeah, I haven't sort of got those ingredients at the moment. Otherwise, I would. So I'll just heat up something to go into the oven. Bear with me. I'll go and see what I've got. I hate I need glasses just to read to set the oven too. Okay, I've found this one. This one from the food bank, I'll show you. So I'm going to cook that up, and yeah, I probably won't eat tonight. One time eating today. Turkey schnitzel. I've never had turkey schnitzel before. Fish. Sous vide fish. Oh yeah, if you had a sous vide, yeah. Eat some fruit, crackers and cheese. But yeah, I think these schnitzels will be quite good in just in a, you know, in a sandwich. A sandwich with some mayo and hot sauce, yeah, that'll do. Crafty Terry, sorry, listening. Dinner, all good. It's coming up to lunchtime here. So, you know, pretty much the same thing. No, I've never had turkey schnitzel before either. Let's hope there's no bioengineered goodies on this. I don't know if I can read the ingredient list or not. Turkey breast. Contains wheat, gluten, soy. Yeah. Mineral salts, a lot of numbers. Vegetable thickener. Don't know what's all in it. Probably best not to know. Although, you know, once I'll be in a better financial position again, I'll be pretty careful of what I'm sort of eating again. Sort of, I hadn't been buying anything if it sort of said bioengineered either. So, you know. We had our Monday night homemade pizza tonight. Yeah, that sounds really good. Homemade pizza. I mean, you know, I'll be getting, then just making sure I buy some good flour. There are a couple of brands of flour that you can buy that are, you know, not containing any baddies and that are all certified organic and non-bioengineered and everything. So, but you just got to pay for it. Yeah, I'm thinking it's pretty much the same as like, you know, chicken schnitzel or pork schnitzel or beef schnitzel, you know. Although I know beef schnitzel is sort of like veal and they, you know, the round steak sort of just, you know, pounded flat. Or, you know, a bit like a chicken steak, you know, a chicken fried steak, I guess. Just bear with me, I'm just putting on my lunch. But yeah, it's just some mayonnaise. I'll put in sandwich, the chicken schnitzel or the turkey schnitzel. Okay, what have I missed here? I was just getting my lunch organised. Well, yes, used to call organic carrots. Well, just carrots, yes. So true, Terry. Because the wind blows, yeah. Well, that's interesting, Jeff. My son makes all the dough and the pizza sauce, and he makes these garlic knots that are even better than the pizza. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I know the wind blows. It's sort of when you think about it that way, it's pretty depressing because how far does the wind blow? You know, glyphosate, for example, or what have you. Yeah, I know. Or GMO pollen. You know, it is an interesting thought, and if you really think about it, it's scary, and you think, oh, why has all this been allowed to be done? But we all know why that is, and we're not going to go into it too much. Oh, that sounds really good, Jeff. I'm definitely up for that. Yes, definitely up for that. Yeah, real pizza, there's nothing better. Homemade pizza. Yeah, exactly. From somebody who knows to make them. Yeah, nothing better. Or you get to a real old style Italian run pizzeria. Yeah, that's pretty good too. My voice is all croaky too, so excuse me. I've been yabbering here for a while. I think that's why my voice is croaky too. I've been yabber, 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 yabber all day. I'd love if somebody could, drop a few links too, before I do sign off for the day. It would be brilliant if somebody could do that. That sun's getting brighter out there. I definitely won't be going out there. Definitely don't want to get sunburned. And, I've been really, really careful with the sun here, the last couple of years. Oh, stop making me hungry, Jeff. Stop making me hungry because that sounds dang good. Real American Angus steak and onions. Yeah, I'm definitely up for that. 1 inch thick steak and onions too. Yeah, definitely I'm up for that. Yeah. And I'll have to cook you all some Chinese, Indonesian and Thai foods. Because I actually learned those recipes and learned how to cook it from, actual grandmothers. So, pretty dang good. And yeah, when I get a computer again, get a laptop again, I've got to edit up some of my old videos from when I used to make cooking videos. And the ones I've all made private, I'm going to, re-engineer them and put them up on the cooking channel. Oh, morel, yeah, absolutely. I'm up for those, yeah. Oh, I haven't had those for years and years and years because you just can't get them here. They don't grow here, so you just can't get them. I know a few people in this country have got into growing truffles, and it must have cost them an absolute fortune just to set that up to be able to do that, and it's got to have taken them a long time to be able to do that too, because don't you need like mature oak trees and things like that to grow them in? They're certainly not going to grow in eucalyptus trees. Oh yes, but Korean and Thai are hard to find around us. Yeah. Authentic Chinese restaurant. Yeah, that's interesting. So we're not just talking Panda Express, of course. Yeah, Dead Elm. Yeah. So yeah, we're authentic Chinese. We're not talking Panda Express there. Yeah. And actually, the authentic Chinese. If you're making authentic Chinese, you're actually cutting down a lot on the meat and putting in a lot more authentic vegetables, of course. And that's often the difficult thing to actually find the authentic vegetables. Around here, I do know where to find the authentic sources and ingredients because there's a number of actual Asian food stores around. Oh, yep, yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a bit sad, yeah. But, if you want to make authentic, Indonesian, Thai, whatever, Chinese, Korean, the big thing is finding a lot of the sources and a lot of the base ingredients. And so you really want to be somewhere where you can access some actual Asian markets and Asian supermarkets. And they're often supplying the goods to Asian restaurants or where there's some Asian people living, that they're just wanting the authentic sources and authentic recipe bases and things. And there's often things that you just need, like Thai. You oftentimes need something like bala, for example, which is sort of like a I guess you could say a fermented fish sauce. Then there's the Thai shrimp paste, which is a fermented shrimp paste, and of course, you know, if you open the shrimp paste, it's comes in a little jar, and it's very, very pungent. And you know, if you're not used to it, you open the jar, but it really does add the authentic flavour, and a lot of those things do that. A lot of the authentic ingredients. Oh yes, that's good to know, Jeff. World stores all around us. They carry things from all around the world. Yep. But you know, like a lot of those ingredients, they're pretty pungent, but you only really use a very little bit of them. We have a friend come here to say hello, so say hello to Mr. Wick. An hour and 43. I might cut it up at 2 hours. Oh, if somebody hasn't smashed a thumbs up, please do so. And if anybody shared this one out, huge, huge, huge thanks and appreciation. I really, really appreciate that. It must be hot out there. He stayed in today so far. Well, yeah, Vegemite, you want to use a little bit, and I don't really like Vegemite anyways, even just using a little bit. I think I'd be just as well off getting the salt shaker and just, you know, putting some butter on my bread and just, you know, with the salt shaker. And that would probably taste nicer because Vegemite has a really, really nasty aftertaste. You know, the saltiness is one thing, but the aftertaste it leaves, it's really not good. And especially now that I've stopped smoking a fair while, I really do notice those things, aftertastes. I think he wants some more food, so I better deal with him. Oh, I'm just checking that. It definitely wants another 10 minutes. I believe that might have been the, I just looked at directions and it said 12 minutes, and I thought, oh yeah, cool. This chicken schnitzel, but of course that would have been unfrozen and this was frozen, so give it another 10 minutes. No, no parrots. Oh yes, enjoy your trivia game. Yeah, I'll be, yeah, about another 13 minutes. I'll cut it off at 2 hours. Ark Wildman, hi there, great to see you. Look at this. I'd love some Japanese, but I can't afford it. Yeah, Turkle Schnitzel though, yep. Just saw this brochure. For all you can eat for a buffet actually sounds really quite reasonable. I love Japanese too, and it looks pretty authentic. Love sashimi, love sushi. But yeah, you know, nearly $43. But, you know, haven't had like Japanese for so long. I mean, well, yeah, I might buy a sushi roll or a sashimi or something, you know, just from the food courts, and it's, you know, it looks Japanese, but it ain't really quite the same as authentic Japanese. And of course, you know, a good authentic Japanese where the you know, where your tuna fish and salmon are all so fresh and high quality, it's sort of pretty hard to beat. But yeah, looking at that makes me hungry. That won't be happening today though. Unfortunately. Won't be happening for a month either, I wouldn't see. Maybe after I've paid that other student housing installment, it may happen after that. Anyways, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, we're going to call it in about 10 minutes. So if anybody's got anything you want to share, please do so. Because yeah, I just went and checked my turkey schnitzel and they were still sort of a bit cold. Yeah, $43, yeah. But that's a buffet, all you can eat, so you know, and for you know, sushi and sashimi, Japanese food. I love Japanese food and I haven't had it for so long. But you know, like if I went and bought some steak, $42. I should be able to get about 2 pounds of really good quality steak for that. You know, we're talking about like good New York strip or something. I don't think you'd quite get ribeye for that though, unfortunately. Oh, Mr. Puss wants to go out. I just got to open the door for him and let him out. So just bear with me as I let the cat out. He's eaten now, he wants to go out. I would hope for that price, the you know, the tuna fish or the salmon would be really, really fresh. But yeah, I don't think you'd quite get 2 pound ribeye for that. A 1 pound ribeye. No, a 2 pound ribeye. Try to think what they sell it for. Oh no, they did say it's about when it's on special about $50 a kilogram. Yeah, for a good quality steak, I might get a fairly decent ribeye, but not ribeye, a New York strip for that. You know, 2 pounds of good New York strip for that price. I love a good New York strip too. I haven't had it for ages. New York strips got very, very expensive here, and a good porterhouse or a good T-bone. Oh, forget about it for that price. It's got really expensive. And like a ribeye steak, for example, got really expensive. Go and buy a tomahawk steak. Oh, it's crazy. And I remember when tomahawk steaks used to be cheaper than T-bone or porterhouses. But, it's become a real trend to cook up a tomahawk steak. So, they've really gone crazy. The prices have gone crazy on them. Even rump steak now, they're selling that for about 14 or $15 a pound here just for rump steak. And I think, oh my goodness, that's crazy. The prices of rump steak have gone absolutely through the roof. The prices of beef gone through the roof. To buy even round steak, for example, top round or bottom round, oh, you pay something like about $10 a pound or something. It's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. And I've been buying a lot of chicken lately, and I'm just absolutely sick of bloody chicken. But it's about the cheapest meat you can buy. But you get sick of bloody chicken, you know what I mean? Yeah, eat more chicken, I guess, yeah, but everybody gets sick of it. Just, ugh. Oh, I'd eat more fish, but fish has got expensive too. And, I actually prefer fish over chicken because chicken's just, overdone, I think. It's everywhere. There's that thing beeping. I'll go and see what it's like. Tuna fish, yeah, I'm not talking fresh tuna fish, like in sushi and sashimi, but that's expensive for the good stuff. The stuff that you'll actually eat a tuna fish steak from or make sushi from. It's expensive. All the trash tuna is actually what they can up. The good tuna is what they sell in the fish store for tuna fish steaks and whatnot. I think that's nearly done, that turkey steak. I'll just turn the oven off and leave it in there for a minute or two to cook through properly, you know, with the remaining heat in the oven. And then it should just make a nice sandwich. I will remind everybody, smash the thumbs up if you haven't already done so. I need more of those. And I'll give everybody a couple of minutes just to say hello, goodbye and all of that, because I am going to call it for the end of this live very soon. 2-hour live stream. Because I don't know what time I'll be doing my live stream next week, because my college starts, so I believe it might be at this same time when I do my Tuesday evening live, which is actually Wednesday morning for me. I'd have to have another look at my timetable, but I think Wednesday morning I'm going to college. Oh, yeah, canned tuna. Yeah, canned tuna fish is absolute, you know, they use all the trash tuna fish for that. You know, it's a bit like canned tuna. They use the canned salmon. You know, they use the crap fish for that. The good fish they're actually selling as fresh fish. You know what I mean? You know, fresh fish fillets and fresh fish steaks, that sort of thing. Yeah, exciting and new adventure, yeah. And expensive. And expensive, yeah. That's why I've got no money now, because I've had to pay all these upfront costs again, and especially for student housing. But, you know, that'll be a great adventure, this student housing, and I should get some really good filming opportunities living in the student housing. And of course, right next to the train station, so the city itself's far more accessible. So, you know, I can get on the train and go somewhere just to film some interesting places. And also the country train is more accessible too. So I can actually jump on the country train at that station and go out to the country somewhere to film, which will be really interesting. Anyways, I am going to call it now, and then I've got to put this phone onto charge and then start editing up some video for, you know, this last weekend when I was in the city. It'll just be a bit of a compilation video, not a lot of talking, just where I went and what I saw. So everybody take care. Huge thanks to everybody watching, and huge thanks to everybody who shares this one out. So take care, be blessed, and until next time, bye-bye.